So students, good morning. Today we will learn about radioactivity. Radioactivity, what radioactivity is? The phenomenon of spontaneous disintegration of the nuclei of heavy element with the emission of certain radiation is known as radioactivity. That is phenomenon of spontaneous disintegration. Spontaneous disintegration means continuous splitting of the nuclei. Spontaneous disintegration of nuclei of heavy metal or heavy element with emission of radiation. So, radioactivity is nothing but it is a spontaneous disintegration of the nuclei of heavy metal with the emission of certain radiation. The element which shows this phenomenon is known as radioactive element. The element which shows the properties of radioactivity, those are known as radioactive elements. So the instability, since the nuclei or the nucleus of an atom is unstable, not as stable as the nucleus, they are not that stable, therefore they undergo radioactivity. So we can say that instability of heavy nuclei is due to radioactivity. So there are types of radioactivity. One is natural radioactivity, the other is induced radioactivity. As you can see, it's natural radioactivity found in naturally occurring elements. Such elements are known as natural radioactivity, and induced radioactivity is nothing but radioactivity induced in an element by bombarding it with alpha particles, neutrons, protons and other particles. It is induced, like we are going to do this. This is natural. So naturally occurring elements. Radioactivity found in naturally occurring elements. These are induced radioactivity which is done by bombarding it with alpha particles or neutrons, protons and other particles. So if you go with this, think this as a cardboard like this. Okay, this is a cardboard here. And one more thing we have here, my drawing is not that much good. This is a aluminium sheet and this is a lead slab. Okay, now these radioactive elements are nothing but emission of radiation. While radioactive process takes place, there will be the emission of radiation. Those emissions are alpha, beta and gamma rays. Okay, these rays will be emitted during the radioactivity. So there was an experiment which shows how this alpha, beta, gamma rays passes, or the penetration power of this alpha, beta, gamma rays. So when alpha ray passes through this cardboard, what happens? It penetrates only through the cardboard. This is alpha ray. In case of beta ray, it penetrates in up to aluminium sheet, so it has that much penetrating power, that is beta ray. And gamma ray, it will penetrate throughout this both the lead until up to lead slab. So gamma rays have highest penetrating power, beta the next highest, and alpha rays has less penetrating power. Now let's see about the nature of alpha, beta and gamma rays. So what is the nature of alpha rays? Let's just see that first. Nature means its properties. Okay, this alpha rays or alpha particles has been identified as helium nucleus. That is, it carries double positive charge of a proton, right? You can see here. So first property of alpha ray is that alpha particle is identified to be a helium nucleus, that is double positive charge of a proton. Then comes mass. Mass of alpha particle is 4 times the mass of hydrogen atom. Next comes the velocity. Velocity of alpha particles, it ranges from 1.4 into 10 raised to 7 meter per second to 2.1 into 10 raised to 7 meter per second. It depends on the source we have used to emit the radiation. Then as we have seen here, alpha particles have low penetrating power. Have low penetrating power. Next, let us see the properties of beta rays. So, first of all, beta particles carry negative charge. Beta particles carry a negative charge, and this is equal to that of electron, that is 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19 coulomb. So beta particle carries a negative charge which is similar or same as that of electron, that is 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19 coulomb. Now let us see the mass. Mass of beta particle. Mass of beta particle is equal to that of mass of electron. We have seen in a previous class, that is 9.1 into 10 raised to minus 31 kg. Now what about velocity? In case of beta particle, it's comparable to fast moving electrons. Is comparable to fast moving electrons. We have seen beta particles have large penetrating power, right? Alpha particles have low penetrating power, beta particles have large penetrating power. So these are the properties of beta rays. Next goes to the gamma rays. In case of gamma rays have the velocity equal to that of velocity of light. Gamma rays travels with velocity of light, and mass of the gamma rays that is at rest of the photon is 0. If mass is 0, then they can move very faster, right? And next comes the gamma rays are not deflected by electric and magnetic fields as they do. Since gamma rays are independent of charge, they have no charge on them. Independent of charge. Gamma rays are independent of charge. Therefore, they do not get deflected by electric and magnetic fields. And as we have seen, gamma rays have very large penetrating power. Have very large. We have seen, right? It has passed to cardboard as well as aluminium sheet as well as lead slab. So gamma rays have very large penetrating power. So what we have seen is, what is radioactivity? Radioactivity is a phenomenon of spontaneous disintegration of the nuclei of heavy element with the emission of certain radiation. That is spontaneous, continuous splitting of heavy nuclei with the emission of radiation is nothing but the radioactivity. The elements which undergoes radioactivity, those elements are known as radioactive elements. The instability of heavy nuclei is a cause of radioactivity. Since the nuclei are unstable, the nucleus is not that stable, therefore that undergoes spontaneous disintegration. That is why radioactivity process takes place. And these radioactivities are of two types. One is natural radioactivity and another is induced radioactivity. Natural radioactivities are the radioactivity found in natural elements. Induced radioactivity is that radioactivity which is induced in an element by bombarding it with the alpha particles, neutrons, protons and other particles. Then we had an experiment in order to get to know about the rays. These rays are emitted during the radioactive process. One is alpha ray, beta ray and the gamma ray. A cardboard is kept, aluminium sheet is kept and a lead slab is kept. So gamma ray passes only through the cardboard, beta ray passes out from the cardboard and reaches the aluminium sheet, while gamma ray passes cardboard as well as aluminium sheet and also the lead slab. So now let us know the properties, that is nature and properties of alpha, beta and gamma rays. About alpha rays. Alpha rays are helium nucleus. They have helium nucleus, that is double positive charge of a proton. Then mass of alpha particle is 4 times that of hydrogen atom. Velocity of alpha particle is 1.4 into 10 raised to meter per second to 2.1 into 10 raised to 7 meter per second. It depends on the element we use, radioactive element or radioactive source emitting it. Then alpha particles have low penetrating power, we have seen here. About beta rays, properties of beta rays are nothing but these beta rays carry negative charge which is same as that of electron, that is 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19 coulomb. Then mass of beta particle is also same as that of electron, that is 9.1 into 10 raised to minus 31 kg. Velocity is comparable to fast moving electrons. Then beta particles have large penetrating power. We have seen it passes from cardboard to aluminium sheet. Then comes the gamma rays. Gamma rays, they travel with the speed of light. Okay. Then the mass of gamma rays is nearly 0. Because of this mass, they can move very fast. Here also you can compare it with that, because since the beta rays or beta particles are also have decreased mass, therefore they can penetrate a bit. And gamma rays are independent of charge, therefore they are not deflected by electric or magnetic fields. Gamma rays have very large penetrating power, that we have seen. It has passed from the cardboard layer to aluminium sheet, then to the lead slab. Therefore they have high penetrating power. Now let us see about the radioactive decay. What is this radioactive decay? Decay is the left elements, right? You know everyone. So radioactive decay. Various experiments performed subsequently proved that radioactive was a nuclear phenomenon in which unstable radioactive nucleus undergoes a decay. So after the radioactive process takes place, the remaining unstable radioactive nucleus undergoes a decay. That decay is known as radioactive decay. So when an experiment takes place, what happens? It was proved that radioactivity was a nuclear phenomenon in which an unstable radioactive nucleus undergoes a decay, and that decay is known as radioactive decay. During the process, it decays three types, that is alpha decay, beta decay and the gamma decay. So there are three types of radioactive decay, that is alpha decay, beta decay and the gamma decay. Now is the alpha decay. Let us see about alpha decay. Alpha decay is a process in which nucleus decays spontaneously, that is continuously emitting an alpha particle. it decays alpha particles, and the alpha particles emitted have discrete energy values, or the discrete values of energy. So alpha decay is nothing but is a process in which a nucleus decay spontaneously, emitting a alpha particles. These alpha particles emitted have discrete values of energy. Here what happens is, in case of alpha decay, mass number means number of proton has neutron, right? Mass number of daughter nucleus. I don't know why they have not taken son, instead they have taken daughter. So the mass number of daughter nucleus reduces. It reduces by a factor of 4 than that of the parent. Factor of 4 than the parent nucleus. Okay. So in alpha decay, what happens? Mass number of daughter nucleus reduces by a factor of 4 than a parent nucleus or the parent nucleus. So let us represent it so that you can understand. If this is an element, if this is a mass number and this is an atomic number, when it undergoes alpha decay, what happens? It reduces by a factor of 4, right? So therefore A minus 4 and Z minus 2. Also, atomic number decreases or reduces by 2. Therefore, you can write Z minus 2 plus helium 4 and 2. This is a representation of alpha decay. So, in case of alpha decay, what happens? First of all, what is alpha decay? Alpha decay is nothing but it is a decay of the nucleus, where a decay takes place continuously or spontaneously, emitting alpha particles, and these alpha particles have discrete values of energy. In alpha decay, mass number of daughter nucleus reduces by 4 than parent nuclei, and atomic number reduces by 2 than the parent nuclei. Therefore, you can represent alpha decay as, this is the element with mass number and atomic number. It undergoes alpha decay, where you get daughter nucleus with mass number reduced by 4, atomic number reduced by 2, will remain in the helium. Now let us clearly understand by taking one example. If you take decay of uranium-238, it decays to thorium, which is 234 and 90. How? Let us represent it. Uranium-238 and 92, if it undergoes alpha decay, so you can write this as 238 minus 4, 92 minus 2 with helium, right? Or you can write the same as this way. You can write thorium 234 and 90 plus. So this is an example related to alpha decay. There is a one more definition or a factor known as disintegration energy. Disintegration energy, or it is also known as Q value of nuclear reaction. Now, what is this Q value or the disintegration energy? The difference between initial mass energy and the total mass energy of the decay. That is, before the mass energy before disintegration and total mass energy of the decay product is known as disintegration energy or Q value of nuclear reaction. Once again, I'll repeat. It is a difference between initial and total mass energy of the decay product. That is known as disintegration energy or Q value of nuclear reaction. You can represent it as Q is equal to mx my m helium, xy helium, right, into c square. We have seen. So this is nothing but Q value of nuclear reaction or disintegration energy. Now in this case, if Q value is positive, then what happens? Nuclear reaction is exothermic. Exothermic means nuclear reaction in which energy is released. If Q value is negative, then it is endothermic, means energy absorbed. That is the difference between endothermic and exothermic. Okay. So students, once again I'll repeat. What is alpha decay? Alpha decay is nothing but it is a decay of the nucleus which spontaneously emits alpha particle, and these alpha particles have discrete energy values. Now alpha decay, what happens? Mass number of the daughter nucleus reduces by a factor of 4 and atomic number decreases or reduces by a factor of 2. It is generally represented in this way. If you take example of uranium-238, it gives thorium of 234 and 90. It underwent in this way. Then we have a disintegration energy or Q value of a nuclear reaction. It is nothing but difference between the initial and total mass energy of the decay product. That gives the disintegration energy or Q value of the nuclear reaction. It is represented as Q is equal to mx, my and m helium, x, y and helium into c square. So if Q value is positive, then the nuclear reaction is exothermic. Exothermic means in the nuclear reaction energy is released. Q value is negative, then it is endothermic. It means in the nuclear reaction energy is absorbed. Next we will see about beta decay. Beta decay is a process in which nucleus decays spontaneously, emitting, in this case emitting electron or positron, right? But along with this positron or electron, there will be one more particle known as neutrino or antineutrino. Before going further, let us know what is neutrino and antineutrino or the positron. Here, positron is an antiparticle. It is denoted as, positron